From Bakersfield to the corners of Kern County, the best moments from your Golden Empire gridirons. 17 Sports Director Taylor Shaw, football analyst, Renegade head coach R. Todd Littlejohn. This is FFX, the Sunday Expanded Edition. Driven by Sangera Subaru and Dignity Health, Mercy and Memorial Hospitals.
Welcome into another postseason edition of FFX. I'm Taylor Shaw, but you're not Coach.
I'm not Coach. Astute observation there, Taylor.
That's Chris Burton joining me to break down the best of round two. Coach has the night off, Chris.
Well, I'm happy to be here, Taylor, and we've got plenty of action to get to. I'm not going to sing this time, but I am going to say what Coach would say. It's time to give the people what they want.
Gather round. It's time for your FFX Game of the Week, powered by SCOE, your Southern California Orthopedic Institute.
Well, Taylor, our FFX Game of the Week happens to be the only matchup inside city lines here in Bakersfield.
That's right. Fresh off a bye, Kern's lone remaining Division I team, Liberty, started their Valley title defense at home. Patriots getting the 3 seed this go-around, welcoming coastal powerhouse St. Joe's. They didn't look like a powerhouse, except early. Knights would strike. In the first quarter, it's Darren Messiah finding Colin Forsay. It's 10 yards and it's the score, so 6-0 St. Joe's, but we told you they didn't look like a powerhouse after that. But Xander Chisholm did. 85 yards of green grass, Chris.
So nice, makes a couple men miss, and he is off to the races.
Still first, it would be Liberty back on the move. It's Cole O'Brien to Krayshawn Kizzy. Another big play out of the Pats. That's 52 yards and the touchdown. 14-6 Pats. They already have 2 touchdowns. Liberty's offensive MVP gets in on the mix. It's Jalen Hankins breaking tackles there. The 31-yard touchdown puts Liberty ahead 21-6. He had 134 yards on the ground on just 12 carries. Let's take a look at your final. 49-13. So the victory sets up the rematch we've all been waiting for. It's Liberty and Buchanan. Chris, what happened last time these two teams faced off?
Well, they didn't finish. That's what happened, Taylor. There was a weather delay in the fourth quarter, and Liberty, I know, is chomping at the bit to get back to Buchanan.
Well, you know, we knew they were a good football team, and we knew we had to come out and we really emphasized playing well in all 3 phases of the game. And that's at playoff time, that's kind of what you do. Our kids responded well, came out and played hard, and I was really proud of the product tonight.
All right, well, 2 area teams are alive in Division II play, and after stumbling to the finish line in league play, Frontier's offense dropped 49 points in round 1. We wondered, would the fireworks show travel? Well, to Kingsburg we go for the 7-2 matchup. Vikings entering 9-1 on the season. We'll pick it up in the second. Tied 7-all, and that's Kingsburg's Ethan Winslow hitting Calvin Voiles' 3-yard touchdown. Vikes up 14-7, but still second. Titans in the red zone. Devin Cochran was a force in this one. Up the gut from the Wildcat, tied at 14-all, and that's not the last time we'll call his name today. 2 minutes left in the half. Malachi Statler finding Kobe Watson deep downfield after evading a number of tacklers. There the ball goes, and it's Kobe Watson for the touchdown. 21-14 Frontier. Frontier would take it late, 38-35 the final. And no one had a bigger impact on this one like Devin Cochran. Almost 200 all-purpose yards, and the senior accounted for 3 touchdowns. Taylor, he was money.
Yes, he was. He was an absolute beast. So the Titans will now travel to Lemoore. And speaking of round 2 play, it wrapped up Friday with another D2 clash. BCHS and Hanford for the 4-5 matchup. First quarter, Eagles down 6-0. That's Jordan Delgado to Tyler Stewart deep in the back of the end zone. So it's 7-6 Eagles. Wouldn't stay that way for long. Still first, Bullpups up 14-7 and adding to it. Caden Muir calls his own number, runs to the left side. He's in. It was a 21-yard score. Then the 2-point conversion. It's Muir again. Bullpups. They scored 84 points in round 1. They were trying to get to that number again. Didn't quite get there. But they blew BCHS out of the water, 51-28. And after a magical season in the mountains, the clock finally struck midnight for Kern's Cinderella team. To Tehachapi we go. It was 35 degrees at kickoff as the Warriors welcomed Sunnyside out of Fresno. Despite the cool air, Tehachapi was off to a sizzling start. That's quarterback Jacob Root finding A.J. Anderson deep downfield. He hauls it in, does a little dance, Chris.
A.J. Anderson, one of the FFX MVP candidates, and he's showing why he is excited.
64 yards in the score. How about Tanner Wilson slinging it to Malachi Barnes, 9-yard touchdown, 7-6 Warriors after the missed PAT. Second quarter we go. Root drops back, launches a missile. Who catches it? A.J. Anderson.
You're hearing his name early and often, and you've been hearing his name all season, and he takes it and does the rest. That's a 68-yard score.
14-6, but Sunnyside countered as they did all night. Big play of their own. Wilson on the move. He finds Barnes again. This time a 54-yard score, so we were tied at 14-all, and then right before half, following a route interception, Sunnyside gets back on the board, and that would be all she wrote for the Tehachapi Warriors. 33-21. Now, despite big play out of A.J. Anderson, who had 148 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns, not to mention rushing the ball a little bit, Tehachapi's season comes to an end.
It's just a special group, and it's you got that small town feel that really just it unites a community. So this is more than about football right now. It's about the town, and everyone knows everyone around here. So just couldn't be more proud of the guys. I'm just bummed that it ended the way it did.
Well, we had more Division III action in the north. The Kennedy Thunderbirds, fresh off a league title, making their run at a Valley Championship. And Taylor, they say play for the name on the front. Kennedy honoring the armed forces here ahead of Veterans Day with the name on their front. And the Thunderbirds would strike like lightning. It's Jami's Helm over 3 defenders. This might be a catch of the year candidate, coming down like Randy Moss, 7-0 in the first, and it was Kennedy early and often in this one.
Julian Orozco lofts one up here to a wide open Julian Sanchez. Julian on Julian action. That's 20 yards and the score. So it's 13-0 Kennedy, Chris, as the fans celebrate.
And the Kennedy's athletes were all over the field in this one. This is Helm again on the runner, and he takes it for 89 yards, I believe was that score. 87, excuse me. T-Birds, like Helm, are running away with it 19-0. And Taylor, I got to give a quick shout out to the RFK defense as Jace Demacadalin makes it 26-0. Final from Kennedy, 33-7. And Helm had his fingerprints all over this game. 3 total touchdowns, more than 250 yards, an efficient day too. More than 16 yards every time he touched the ball. And the T-Birds head to San Luis Obispo next week for a showdown with Mission Prep on the coast.
The losses we've taken, we've been on the road, right? So it's going to be a good test for us to take that long trip out there, play somebody completely new. We're excited about the opportunity to go over there, play the number 1 seed, hopefully do well.
Still ahead on FFX, is this deja vu after an underwhelming regular season? The Falcons have once again found their postseason wings. We'll break down Indy's keys to success as they try to repeat.
And let's put on some Willie Nelson because we're going on the road again. We're back with a bracket breakdown after this short break.
You're watching FFX, the Sunday Expanded Edition, powered by Sangera Subaru, serving Kern County for over 50 years. You're watching FFX, the Sunday Expanded Edition, powered by Dignity Health. Hello, human kindness.
Well, Taylor, here we go again. Independence back in our spotlight after a massive 21-point upset over second-seeded Porterville, a team many saw as a powerhouse.
Yeah, it's reminiscent of last year's Falcons squad, which puttered through a 4-6 regular season before exploding to win a Valley title. The 15th seed in Tulare on Thursday night, taking on 7th seed Mission Oak. First quarter, Falcons go to their ground game. His name, Anthony Rico, the senior, off to the races. 7-0 Indy, just like that. He's flying. Second quarter we go, Falcons back on the move. Diego Hernandez with the bullet pass to who else but Anthony Rico. He does the rest. Look at the separation, Chris.
You know, the Peregrine Falcon, the fastest bird out there. Anthony Rico, the fastest falcon out there.
How do you know that?
It's just in my head.
How do you know that? Still second, Mission Oak finally gets on the board. It's Daniel Gonzalez finding Jacob Ramirez deep downfield in for the score. So a bit of a comeback by Mission Oak, but the Falcons, they soar 27-24. Let's take a look at Rico's final stat line, Chris. Wow.
The number jumps off the page is the rushing average, 20 yards per carry. Coach likes to say you're averaging a first down every time. He's averaging 2.
So where will Indy go? How about back up north? It's Sunnyside next. Chris?
Well, Taylor, we've got much more playoff action to get to tonight, including a couple surprises, some good for current teams and some not so good. We'll take a look around the county. We'll start in D4 play in a major upset. Shafter taking down previously undefeated Liberty out in Madera. Reigning FFX Player of the Week freshman quarterback Ezekiel Osborne finds Jesus Figueroa. Shafter pulls off the upset 14-13. Is your final. Generals will stay on the road for a date with Torres next. Taft Wildcats, winners of 5 straight, finally found their match. Second quarter, Taft on the move, not anymore. Wildcats QB Jace Moore picked off by Devin Sanchez. Sanchez takes it all the way back, 20-0, Coalinga. Taft scores 2 quick touchdowns right before the half. First up, it's Moore to Blaine Newdorf in the back of the end zone, 6 yards in the score. But the comeback bid would fall short. Coalinga takes it, 26-18. And the Stars season came to a close up north. All Torres in this one. Jose Soriano up top to Josiah Salinas. It's a nice grab. Torres doubles up north, 28-14. And Kern Valley fell just short to Hanford West, 14-13 your final. And Avenal beats Arvin, 24-14. Okay, so parents, make sure your tanks are full because come Friday, 5 area teams will travel a combined 578 miles for the section semifinals. We'll start with Division 1. Here's what the bracket looks like. Number 4, San Joaquin Memorial at number 1, Clovis West. Number 3, Liberty heads to number 2, Buchanan. And that is our FFX Game of the Week. It's the rematch we've all been waiting for. After Mother Nature stopped Liberty's comeback short in preseason play, the Pats will get a chance to exact a little revenge on Buchanan. These teams have faced each other 5 times in the past 3 full seasons. We'll move to Division 2. We'll see Hanford, who is absolutely rolling right now, taking on Central Valley Christian, and Frontier will head to Lemoore. Now, Frontier, the surprise of this bracket so far, taking down number 2 Kingsburg this week. Malachi Statler and the rest of the Titans have their work cut out for them. Lemoore took down their round 2 opponent in a 64-8 beatdown. 2 area teams are in Division 3 action. The Kennedy Thunderbirds head to the coast for a matchup with Mission Prep, and the Cinderella Falcons, they'll take on Sunnyside in Fresno. Now, Independence making its case for Team of Destiny once again, this time as a 15 seed, and don't count the T-Birds out against the Royals. Kennedy handled Kerman Friday. They believe they can win this game. And meantime, Division 4 action has number 8 Shafter headed to 4th seeded Matilda Torres, and 3-seeded Carruthers hosts number 7 Coalinga. Now the Generals riding high after taking down top-seeded Liberty of Madera. Does young quarterback Ezekiel Osborne have any magic left in him? We'll find out. And no current teams left in Divisions 5 or 6, so that'll do it for your bracket breakdown. Taylor?
Well, thanks, Chris. Back in Week 4, as you said, Mother Nature halted Liberty's comeback bid against rival Buchanan, and controversy ensued. But that's not the end of this story. You asked for it, and the playoff gods delivered. We've got a Bears-Pats rematch coming your way with a championship appearance on the line. Liberty head coach Brian Nixon joins us next to break it all down.
FFX is proud to be fitted by Finos. When it comes to quality men's suits in Bakersfield, Finos menswear and tuxedo is all you need.
They had to do what they had to do, and I understand that. But you know, I really thought we had the momentum at that moment. You know, it's hard on our kids to understand that. It is what it is, and you know, we're gonna face adversity in the course of this season. So that's a little bit of adversity, and how we respond is going to define our character.
That was brutal. That's a bad way to end the game, and nothing that they can do about it, as he mentioned. But they could have at least delayed it a little bit longer and allow those young men to play and finish the game.
Well, welcome into a special edition of Coach's Corner. Coach Little John not here, but Coach Brian Nixon, head coach of the Liberty Patriots, joins us ahead of his big rematch against the Buchanan Bears. Now, Coach, I want to take you back to Week 4. You guys had 11 minutes, 10:59 left on the clock. Officials called the game there. What was going through your head?
Well, we were hoping that we were going to get a chance to continue the game that night, but you know, Mother Nature said no, and we had a few more lightning strikes, and it continued on with the 30-minute increments, and they decided to call it.
You guys were driving in that game. The comeback bid looked really, really promising. How hard of a blow was that for your young guys?
It was hard. You know, we had the momentum at that time, but you we had to sit there in the weight room and talk about it. And thank God it was week 3. We know that it's playoff time now. Then we're going to play 4 quarters. No matter if we got to wait it out or not, we have to have a winner to see what's going to take place the following week. So we got an opportunity to do it again.
How important is it for a group to battle adversity? I mean, certainly that's really tough for young kids right there to have to go through. But how much does that toughen your group up for a long postseason run?
Well, we've been kind of talking about those types of things, that life's going to deal you adversity. How are we going to handle it? It's going to define our character and those type of things. So we were able to get through that. That was preseason. And, we've been able to move forward. We've had adversity throughout the course of the year. So we've handled it fairly well. So we're really pleased that we get the opportunity to play in the semifinals again. And we've got a week to prepare.
Okay, you guys went into Buchanan last year in the postseason. You won that game. You also had to win a road game against Central. So you know how to win big road playoff games. What kind of mentality do you have to take into it to win 2 hours up north?
Our kids have been on the road, so they understand what it's like to be on the road and be able to play in big games. So I think they understand the preparation Monday through Thursday is the big thing. And, doing the little things right creates big things for us.
All right, you got a lot of firepower on your offense, but you also got to take down Jaden Mandel. He's a pretty good quarterback.
Oh, he's really good. And we got to see that in week 3 or week 4, whatever it was. And he's a Division I player for a reason. He handles that offense very well, manages it, gets the ball out of his hands really quick, and he's got a lot of weapons to throw to.
All right, that does it for this special edition of Coach's Corner. Coach Nixon, thank you for joining us. We're excited to see it on Friday night. Chris?
All right, it is time now for your final Renegade report of the fall. BC entered Week 10's matchup with Allen Hancock essentially in a 6-way tie for first place in the conference, which does sound confusing, but basically that means they needed a win. Now, Military Appreciation Night at Memorial Stadium the night after Veterans Day, but the Renegades stalled early and Hancock struck first as Jaleel Walker, taking it 65 yards from Esquilia Storer, 6-0 Bulldogs, and then before halftime, John Allen would take a 1-yard plunge for 6, finding the end zone. Bulldogs up 2 scores, 13-0, and that would stay the score until the 4th. The Renegades driving, Joseph Campbell loads, finds his favorite target, Jihad Marks. The connection working all season. Marks takes it 68 yards, but BC comes up just short. 13-7 is your final, and the Renegade season is over.
All of those guys that are returning, I want them to feel this. I don't ever want them to get used to losing, but I want them to feel this because close isn't good enough. And we'll be better. We'll be better. But this just hurts so bad right now.
Well, another year, another impressive postseason display by Indy's young running back. We'll go one-on-one with Falcons star Anthony Rico and revisit some of the top moments from round 2. We're back after this quick cut.
FFX is proud to partner with Valley Sports Media. Follow at V Sports Media for exclusive football content throughout the season. It's trophy time, the FFX Awards, brought to you by Jerry's Pizza and Pub.
Welcome back. There are so many kids around the county that we want to honor each week. It's really difficult. And one that we haven't honored, Gamiz Helm out of the Kennedy Thunderbirds offense. This dude is a beast. So, Chris, it's time to hand out some hardware. Now, you were actually at this game. I know you were shooting and you were all over the place, but walk me through this catch in the first quarter.
Well, this catch was money. It was a wonder to watch. You got to see Gami's help go up over 3 defenders, and he went up and pulled that ball down just like Randy Moss, and he was a monster in this game as well. 3 touchdowns, more than 250 yards. Efficient day, too, more than 16 yards every time he touched the ball. He was a beast in this match.
So, Gamiz Helm, get your FFX Play of the Week.
Well deserved.
Your FFX Player of the Week is presented by Vertical Raise, the premier online fundraising platform.
Oh, Chris, we've said it. There's just something about the Independence Falcons in the postseason. Joining us, he's our FFX Player of the Week for the quarterfinals, Anthony Rico, the star running back for the Falcons. Anthony, another upset as a 15 seed. How does it feel to be our FFX Player of the Week?
Man, it's an honor, just to be here and be recognized by you two.
Absolutely. 15 seed this year, and you guys made a Cinderella run through the playoffs last year as well. What is the character of this team that allows you guys to go on these kind of unheard of runs?
Tyler Schaub just preaches to keep pushing no matter what we're going through throughout the season. So just to keep pushing and just fight through everything, all the adversity,
Okay, I got to ask you about your stat line in this one, because you were a man on a mission. It just felt like you were all over the place against Mission Oak. What was going through your mind in that game as you were trying to will your team to victory?
Just ball, offensive line, they did their job. I did my job, and the quarterback did his job. I had to do mine, just try to give my team a chance,
All right, I'm going to have you brag on yourself a little bit. Let's put up your stats in this one. Tell me, of the impressive stat line there, what jumps out to you the most? What are you most proud of, Anthony Rico?
Probably the interception, give my chance to score another touchdown and ultimately win the game.
Chris, of course, he picks one thing that's not on the board because we couldn't fit it on the board. Anthony, thank you so much. That is our FFX Player of the Week, and that's going to do it for this Sunday expanded edition of FFX. For more high school football coverage, just head to kgt.com, click on that FFX icon. Have a great rest of your weekend, and we're going to see you next Friday at 11:11 because it will be the semifinals